that's
Okay.
awesome. That's awesome. Very cool. Well, maybe Brady, you could just give yourself a little quick introduction, kind of let our friends know who you are, and if you could go back to where you started in this industry, because I think that's crucial to your story and the overall movement of the hemp industry.
Yeah.
Sure. So yeah, I'm Brady. Me and my wife started. Well, I started back in 2013 in the vapor industry, and it was at a company in Oklahoma where we started distributing nicotine and doing a lot of co-packing. And I brought in with them, we brought in CBD vape juice to the vapor industry, and we started distributing it to all the shops and helping all the shops open for the first year of the big vape boom.
Awesome.
And that's kind of how we got into learning about the legalities of CBD and what we could and couldn't do in the beginning of 2014, I guess it was. So
Okay.
there was like a bunch of MLM companies that were coming out, and then there was one e-liquid line. It was called Hemp Pure Vape. So
Okay. I remember that. I remember Hemp Pure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slim pickings in there those days.
yeah, it was crazy, and everyone said you were selling drugs, and most of the vape shops didn't want it still. So
Right.
Right. This was 2014?
yeah, 2014, like right after the Farm Bill went into effect.
Farm Bill is so fresh. Some people don't even know hemp's legal, so it takes a while for it to spill over, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brady and I are constantly trying to, you know this. You spend most of your days like talking about the differences so that you can bring legitimacy to your business, and man,
Right.
it's hard.
Yeah, I know. It's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah.
And back then you couldn't even say terpene to a head shop and they would hang up the phone.
Right.
No.
What the fuck did you say to me?
Yeah, no, you can't say that.
Yeah. I mean, it's really interesting to me how the word terpene, the cannabis industry is like taking over the word and ownership of the word terpene. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like when we were getting credit card processing for Stripe,
Yeah.
we have the names, they're terpene enhanced names. I had to spend 3 or 4 days educating the decision makers about what a terpene was and how cannabis didn't own that. Cannabis had a few that were like specific to just cannabis, but everything else belongs to the natural world.
Mother Nature.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like it was intense. But again, it's just how people brand things in the cannabis space and how reactive the rest of the world is because of that. It's crazy.
Now, what kind of weirdness? Because we started at the same exact time. So 2014 is when I was in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm introducing CBD to these high THC cannabis people who want to fucking kill me. Because how dare we have the nerve to talk about a cannabinoid that doesn't get you high? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Bringing back that ditch weed. Okay.
Right. So I was that asshole on the West Coast and then moved back to the Midwest to be the asshole in Chicago.
Yeah.
So everyone realizes we were the first assholes that were just bringing the truth to light, you know? So
right.
What was their experience with that?
Yes, I would love to know.
It was all from the stem and stock from Europe, remember?
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was that black tar kind of nasty tasting sock hemp.
Man, we've really been spoiled since then.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So easy to forget. Holy
yeah, it was crazy. It tasted horrible.
When you were talking to people about CBD at that time, could they wrap their minds around it, or all they knew about was THC?
It was just snake oil, right?
Snake oil.
They're like, that's snake oil. Or you'd have to like explain, hey, have you heard of the Stanley Brothers and Charlotte's Web by chance?
Right.
Most people would be like, no.
Right. No, exactly. Exactly. No, that's what we were called, snake oil salesmen. And we're like, we didn't even know what that was. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Right. Good.
I had no idea.
Well, that's good, right? Sounds very sinful and fun.
Yeah, so crazy. So crazy. Okay, so once you get past that fiasco, how do you get to the point where you're now like running your own business?
Yeah.
We broke away from the vape company because I wanted to do CBD and hemp, and I was an avid cannabis user. I had different issues that I was treating myself with cannabis. So I was, it was just a time where it wasn't really a healthy work environment for me anymore. And we grew this company from like nothing to $14 million in about 10 months. And it was just time, it was just time to go. So we started Protein Brady. And then with Protein Brady, it just was supposed to be this, I was going to go off and get more accounts for the vapor distribution, but I was also going to find new innovative alternative products and broker them, because that was kind of my passion. And I thought if I would do that, I could still be in the CBD game, and then I could, go from there. Well, eventually I got kind of shafted and they stopped paying me my royalty. And so when
It
that
sounds so
happened,
weird for the cannabis space.
It's
I don't know.
fucks. My God.
yeah, so I had to start my site, and that's all I knew. That's how I did the vapor deal. Was we had a website and we did wholesale online. So I just started a website, and then we started distributing through drop ship through the vendors I was already helping move their products.
Yeah.
And so that's how it evolved. And then I had to pick up all these e-liquid lines, so the vapor shops would order from me, and then they would buy some CBD. You know what I mean? So they didn't feel threatened by you being CBD only. And so there was a little bit of a need for that then, because people with CBD companies couldn't just call, everybody, because a lot of people would just hang up on you. They're like, that's drug dealing. I can't have that. That's illegal.
Right. Yeah, there was no path for them to actually sell it with confidence, right? So
yeah, unless you're the big dog.